Morning, everyone. Yesterday we made apple juice with our steam juicer. Today we are going to make that apple jelly. Last night I made an additional 4 cups of apple juice. So what I want to do is I want to start my pot, getting it warm. In this pot we have our canning jars, and I'm trying to warm them up to the same temperature as what we're going to be putting our apple jelly into. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm adding a total of 8 cups. This is that fresh steamed apple juice that we made yesterday. Okay, to this, and this is by the Ball recipe. I'm using the Ball book recipe on apple jelly. So what it calls for is 3 cups of sugar for every 4 cups of juice. So I have 8 cups in here, and I want to add 6 cups. I know it's a lot of sugar, but I'm not using pectin in this recipe. And to this recipe, we're also going to be using 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm using just real lemon juice. And I'm actually going to use a measuring spoon. And I'm going to put an extra splash in there. What we're looking for is for all the sugar to melt. Alright, we're waiting for all the sugar to melt. And I don't know if you can see it right now, but we still have sugar in here. So we're just going to give this a stir. We want all the sugar to melt before we put it in our jars. And I'm going to check the jars over here are heating up. In the bottom of the canner is a little daisy that you put on the bottom, and then you put your jars in to warm them up. But this is what I'm going to use to can. And you can see the sugar in there is just still melting. You can see the sugar on the spatula. We want no sugar left, so we're just going to keep stirring. And we want this to come to a boil. Now this will take a few minutes before it starts bubbling and getting to the consistency we want. In the meantime, I need to take out a plate. And what I'm going to do is, when I think it's ready, I'm going to put a few drops on the plate and then let it slide to see if it's the consistency we need. Now the only thing I'm waiting for right now is for the apple jelly to start bubbling or boiling. And we want it a good hard boil. One note here. My microwave convection oven, if it gets too hot underneath, the fan will automatically kick on. So if we start getting a fan noise, that's what it's from. Okay, another thing we are looking for is the temperature of the apple jelly itself. And we're looking for a temperature of 220. And I have a thermometer here that I'm going to use. It's a digital thermometer, but it works just as well as a candy thermometer would do. So once it hits 220, we'll be good to go. Ooh, and that's hot. And right now we're only up to 174. So we have a little ways to go. And I'm just going to keep stirring this. The reason I'm making apple jelly is because we are big fans of peanut butter and jelly. And during the fall, my personal favorite is tomato soup with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches cut into little slices. It is my version of comfort food. I'm also going to be trying to skim some of the foam from on the top. So I'm just using a paper plate and a paper towel. You don't have to do this part, it's not necessary, but it does make a nicer presentation in your jar. All right, let's see where we're sitting at now. We're at 199. We have 20 more degrees to go, or just about. All right, our temperature is at 207, and it is just now really starting to boil. All right, this is the boil that we're looking for. Let's check the temperature. We still have a few more degrees to go. We're at 211. Now to this mixture, you can add a pumpkin spice, you can add allspice, cinnamon, cloves in a sachet while this is boiling up to make a spiced apple jelly. Okay, I'm going to show you something here. So I'm going to take a little bit of the apple juice sugar mixture. I want to cool it down just a little bit. And see how it just runs? That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for more of a jelly to come down. All right, I've actually broken out my candy thermometer and deep frying thermometer to see how we're doing. I'm moving the slide down so it doesn't hit the bottom, but it will tell us what our temperature is. And according to this, we are at 210. We need to be at 220, and we're just going to let this go until it hits 220. All right, our temperature is up to 215, and we are slowly getting there. So far, this process has taken about 20 minutes to get to this point, and I have made a mess on my stove. This is the mess I've made on my stove so far from making this jelly. And we are at 215. This is much better. I'll show you what I mean. So if you take your spatula, hold it up, it's more of a consistent line now instead of droplets. This is what we're looking for. All right, I'd honestly taken a cup out of this because I'm boiling over so badly. And I'm trying to get to the gelling point of 220. And my fan is on. And we're still only at 215 right now. We still have 5 more degrees to go before we can call this good. It's getting there, but it's taken a lot. All right, we finally did it. We finally reached the 220. And what I'm going to do is take this out. Okay. Now we get to start canning it up. All right. So I'm going to start taking my jars out of the water. Now that I have made an absolute mess of my stove, we're gonna can. So I'm just going to start ladling. And you want 1/4 of an inch headspace. And I'm going to go to the ring. These are 1/2 pint jars. And we're going to process them for 10 minutes in the water bath. So now we need to get our lids and bands on, and we're going to put them in the water. Now we tighten our bands finger tight. We're just going to wait till it starts boiling. Okay, our pot is starting to boil, but what I want is I want a much more rapid boil. And then once it starts boiling hard, then we'll start timing. All right, our 10 minutes is up. I'm going to turn off the heat. Thank goodness, because I have a boiling mess underneath. And hopefully everything's okay. I'm going to gently slide this over. And let this fire cool down. I'll show you what I mean. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. This is going to take a lot of cleaning. Yikes. Okay, well, in about 10 minutes, we're going to take the lid off. We're going to take it off away from us so the steam can escape. And then we'll start taking them out. We'll leave them out overnight, and then we'll have some beautiful apple jelly. All right, I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Go to our website, ourbountifulkitchen.com, for recipes, and we'll see you next time. Bye.